we interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Story this morning, Netflix workers are staging a walkout in support of trans employees.
They are, and they're protesting Dave Chappelle's new comedy special, which they say is transphobic. We've got Prompt Force Sarah Stinson live for us at Netflix headquarters in Los Gatos this morning.
You've been around a long time. You should know how important expression is and how important it is to protect it. Not throw around words like hate speech, toss people into concrete like a monster.
Hate speech is
like a monster making up lies. The devil coming out of your mouth in those lies.
Hate speech is not funny.
We can like jokes,
But not at the
we
expense
can
of
like
other
jokes,
people.
we like jokes, we like jokes.
Netflix employees walking out of the company's Hollywood office after weeks of internal backlash.
If your sector is pushing down, you are being a bully.
Employees angered over Netflix's handling of Dave Chappelle's new comedy special, The Closer, which features jokes centered on his relationship with the trans community. Protest organizers have released a list of demands, but it's unclear what the company's next steps will be.
I think it's a good opportunity to start having conversations around what repair looks like. I think that the first step is to create tangible steps that lead toward the objectives that we're trying to achieve. So while we appreciate the acknowledgement of the screw up in his own words, we want to actually talk about what that repair looks like. What are the steps that Netflix is willing to take to be able to make that happen? And today we're going to be more detailed about how we're going to see that come to fruition should they choose to show up and fulfill that demand.
A controversy unfolding within the media giant, forced to listen to its workers.
Netflix asking and demanding them to better support trans and non-binary employees. Of course, as you said, the outrage also stems from the Dave Chappelle special, and it's just continued ever since. This has been going on for weeks now, and especially after Netflix fired a trans employee who actually helped organize this walkout in response to Dave Chappelle's comedy special, The Closer.
I'm here because I want to show people that not everybody believes that you're an artist for saying ideas that you don't agree with. It's a very small minority of people in the world that think that what Dave Chappelle said is hate speech. It's not hate speech. And we want to support Netflix in not pulling the special just because a small pressure group is telling them that there's such a thing as wrong speech. Money, money, money! Money, money, money! Money, money, money! Money, money, money! Money, money, money!
Will you shut the up?
Alright, Shalom. I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory to YAHAWAHSHI'S, double honors to apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out there pushing this truth in sincerity, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. And as I have here, nothing new, well, for the most part, but this is what we talk about all the time, that you can go against these people, the LGBTQ and all this other alphabet letters, and they can throw a riot. And then on top of that, these companies will have the nerve, or they quote unquote force, to apologize to these things. And it's funny because these alphabet squads have more rights than women having more rights over men. And that's the crazy part, when you have more rights than both genders combined. Well, let me not say combined. Yeah, we already see what that led to. But this entire place is a disgrace, and it needs to burn. And these people, soon enough, these people will understand that you done messed up. Because soon enough, these whole group squads and all that other best women's right and all that, they gonna understand that it no longer matters. That it was just a short-lived, fun life for these people, just to I don't know, would try to feel some type of rights in this place. These people don't understand that they have no rights. But that's just the, I want to say, stupidity of this place, because that's really what it boils down to. Like, this place is not even really taken seriously because of how much of a joke that is. This is the one place where you can have every sort of religion, doctrine, and belief into this one place, and people think it's all mighty good and fine of that, but they don't understand. This is what this leads to: having different doctrines, beliefs, all the other mess just leads to more arguments, more fights, more deaths, a whole lot of confusion. Yeah, people will hear, but like, yeah, everybody should have the rights to believe what they want to believe, but then this is what you get: someone fighting the other person. See, these other countries don't have that problem. You're born there with that particular thing, and everybody else agrees with it. And if you don't agree with it, you get to go to the land you want to agree with. And that's what a lot of these people do. They come to this land saying, "Oh," and they fell for the trap. They fell for the hook. Thinking, okay, yeah, I can do this, and whatever. Even though a lot of times, majority of times when these foreigners come over, they are just here strictly for business. But then you got some of that spawns that break off and fall in love with this place. So this is Isaiah 5:20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, for that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." And that's what this place does. Everything that is implied to be good or of more excellency is completely backwards. This is the one place where you can have every sort of religion, doctrine, and belief. Meanwhile, these other countries don't have that problem. And I mentioned why it's a problem earlier, because this place leads to nothing but confusion, more fights, and some more other shit. And then wonder why can't we all get along? Because we're not meant to be all together like this. How this could be one. I mean, one of the reasons why it starts war. And this place was built off of lies. I mean, think about it. This is supposed to be a God-fearing Christian nation. How do you get atheists in here, and then Buddhists and other religions, Muhammad? How do you get these other non-Christian religions into here? Well, none of these Christians. I mean, that's all. Actually, let me correct that. When none of these Christians actually fear, quote unquote, God, because they always preach about the love doctrine, but they never preach about the hate, so quote unquote hate. But then you got these other religions. They're not worried about God, fearing God. They're about worshiping their deity. So that shows you how twisted this place really is, or how messed up it is, how upside down it is. This is Revelation 17:15. It says, upon her head, upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And that's exactly what this is. When you can even turn our own women against us, promote this bigotry, even have these companies even apologizing to these things. That's this definitely tells you something wrong, especially with the way our living conditions is. All these problems in this society, and these people are worried about rights. That's all these people are worried about, is just rights. When there's a whole lot of other things wrong that they won't march about or ride about, but they'll ride for shit like this, as if this was the end of the world. They'll die for their quote unquote right to be acknowledged in this society as something more. But that's why the Lord's actually going to do a flipping around, because in that day when this place starts really folding, people don't understand that no one cares what you are. It's gonna revert back to whatever you was born as is what you are. You can get mad about it, but your rights and the riots, hell, there probably won't even be no more riots. The moment you try to buck up, something can happen to them. So this is Ecclesiastes 12:4. It says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." Actually, there was more on that. Here we go. Actually, no, it was before that. There it is. Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and they look out, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." So, and that strong men is just not talking about the military itself, but it's also talking about the pride of these people, including these alphabets, these other squads out here. They're gonna realize nothing they did mattered. They're gonna look outside. They can literally look outside and be like, and you see this place crumbling right before their eyes. Their rights, their pride, their acknowledgement, when they be like, no one cares who they are. They are null and void. They're non-existent, and you're just another meat bag. That's what this is going to lead to. It's about, because soon enough, it's going to be about who has the money and who has the food. They don't care if you're some ugly Joe Schmo that's walking around. And these people want to soon understand that. But the Lord's going to do a flipping of this place, especially when it's, number one, well, what we all look forward to is the destruction of this place. That would be the best makeover ever, when this place is just wiped from the face of the earth. This is Romans 12:19. It says, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves." Even the Lord's telling us, as much as we don't like this sickness or this place, don't worry about it. Just keep doing what the Lord tells us to do, and that's all that matters. Because we're nothing without the Lord. This is how we get these people to act up how they are now, because they have nothing but their oppressors, and they don't have no real power. They don't have no real power to actually protect them. Esau's not going to protect them. He's just a false image. It says, "But rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." And that's why we can't do nothing without the Lord, because he's the one who's ultimately going to destroy this place. If it was up to us, these black freedom fighters would probably already done it. They wouldn't like obliterate it off the face of the map, but they would just take this place over, and everything would be a wreck. And the Lord put them in that spirit for us to witness, to not be like these guys, but to have a form of meditation like them. To see that, hey, this is basically us, because them, like I said, the black freedom fighters, it's just still Jake. They have that spirit on them. They want this place to be taken down, but they don't have the same mentality as we do. We want this place to be destroyed. And the Lord's giving us that process thought to say, hey, this is just an image, but these people can't do anything because I'm not allowing it. You got to wait. The Lord said we got to wait upon him. And whenever that time comes, we just got to remain faithful in this truth, because that's all we got. But we're going to start seeing the Lord flipping things back around to how life is technically supposed to be. Even though this place would still be messed up because of all the corruption, but that's the way this place was meant to be, because it's Babylon. But we're going to see, I guess they would say, a purging of this place. And Lord willing, it'd be great. So that's pretty much all I have on that. So with that, shalom.